Hello, good morning everyone. Hopefully you all in a good condition now. Thank you for listening to my answer. And my name is SHERREN from Management International class. My student number is B102419134. Today I'm here to answer the question for organizational behavior final exam that has been given by my lecturer, Sir Adi Morsalin. And firstly, I want to answer the question on part A, which deal with the activities in Zoom meeting class. There are 4 questions, and next I will answer the question on part B. Well, all my dear audience, let's listen to my answer. Part A. Are you active in attending the lecture of organizational behavior? Do you engage in the discussion handled by your friends? And can you give the evidence of the activities in this discussion on Zoom meeting? My answer is yes. I am active in attending the lecture of organizational behavior. And yes, I also engage with the discussion that have been handled by my friend through presentation. When my friend group already finished explain the material, I usually ask what I don't understand or still confused, and sometimes I also answering the question given in the end of presentation. B. How many chapters have been presented before the final term test? Mention the topics of the chapters and the presenters. How do you find the presenters? The total are 5 chapters that has delivered by student before the final exam. That is chapter 8, Motivation, the Concept of Application by Jennifer and Nikomang. Chapter 9, Foundation of Group Behavior by Agimaya Rashika and Sylvia. Chapter 10 is Understanding Word Themes by Catherine and Octavia. Chapter 11 is Communication by Andrian and Muhammad Arazi. The last chapter is with Material Leadership by Sabrina Velia, Julia, and Delviana. Chapter 13 is presented through video in YouTube, and we watch it together in the last of organizational behavior. It's about structure of organization. So every student already presented material with well. From the presentation, I gained more knowledge, and of course, I related with organizational behavior materials. In the end of presentation, there are also questions, and we did discussion together, and we can fully understand. C. What can you obtain from watching your friend's presentation? So from watching my friend's presentation every week during class, I can learn more knowledge about organizational behavior. As I mentioned before, every material that has delivered is so important, and hopefully we can learn and implement it in later, especially me as a marketing student. D. What book is used in your study of organizational behavior, and how do you find the book? I use Organizational Behavior 15th edition by Stephen Robbins and Timothy book that have been given by my lecturer on WhatsApp group. This book has guided me for learning in the class. The information in there is so detailed that can be understood easily about organizational behavior. Alright, so I'm already answered for part A, and now let's move to part B. The part B question, number 1, is what is leadership and how do you define leadership? Leadership involves making sound and sometimes difficult decisions, creating and articulating a clear vision, establishing achieving goals, and providing followers with the knowledge and tools necessary for achieve those goals. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration motivated by passion, generated by vision, produced by conviction, and ignited by a purpose. Number 2 is, in your own words, identify and summarize the various theoretical frameworks for understanding organizational behavior, and how does the social cognitive approach differ from cognitive approach, and how does the social cognitive approach differ from the behavior approach? So the answer is both approaches focus on the situational context, but behaviorism focuses on learning through conditioning, whereas the social approach emphasizes the influence others that have on our behavior, whereas the cognitive approach claims that dysfunctional behavior is a result of faulty thinking patterns. Number 3, the question is, what are some of the major challenges facing today and tomorrow organization and management? Briefly describe this development. So the answer is, one of the most common and important challenges currently facing organization is dealing with people who are different. The challenge is termed as workforce diversity. Organizations are becoming increasingly cosmopolitan. They are becoming more heterogeneous in terms of gender, race, and ethnicity. Number 4 is, this chapter set the tone of the new paradigm environment. One dimension of this environment has been the dramatic increase in the number of non-job or telecommuters, those that work from home or at least outside the organization. Inexpensive computers, the changing nature of jobs, and worker demands for a more flexible schedule have all contributed to this trend. Go to the link and look at the job that they offer. Specially designed are telecommuting. In fact, Putnam Invest has a page dedicated to jobs available at home. Visit their site at the link and then click on career opportunities. You may also want to visit the International Telework Association Council and then click on career opportunities. That you may also want to visit the International Telework Association Council or ITAC site at the link, and you will find many current articles on telecommuting at the link, and browse through this site and consider the following question. The first one is, would you consider a job that kept you at home for a significant part of the work week? What would you be the advantage of this or disadvantages? So the answer is advantages, the flexibility and agility. Home working enables more agility and flexibility in working agreements. With employees no longer tied to an office, they may be better placed and more willing to flexible hours, such as earlier or later in the day or even at weekends. This may help you meet a certain business need. Example, if you are trading with customers residing in a different time zone. For the disadvantages, working from home doesn't suit everyone. Working from home might not be suited for everyone's personality or ability, or sometimes people might prefer the routine and structure that working in an office environment provide them. Some staff may prefer personal interaction with colleagues and also find face-to-face guidance with the manager extremely beneficial in helping them complete tasks and achieve their goals. And you may also need to be mindful of employees with a disability. Working from home may have a negative impact on the support because they need to do their job. Working from home may also not fit in the everyone's home life. Example, some people may have young children that may be unaware of boundaries and cause interruption during the working day. And others may not have the physical space required to create a suitable dedicated working area. The next one is disadvantages. Working from home doesn't suit everyone. Working from home might not be suited to everyone's personality or ability. Some employees might prefer the Next one is disadvantages. Working from home doesn't suit everyone. Working from home might not be suited to everyone's personality or ability. Some employees might prefer the routine and structure that working in an office environment provide them. Some staff may prefer personal interaction with colleagues and also find face-to-face guidance with the manager extremely beneficial in helping them complete tasks and achieve their goals. You also need to be mindful of employees with a disability, because working from home may have a negative impact on the support they need to do their job. Working from home may also not fit in with everyone's home life. Example, some people may have young children that may unaware of boundaries and cause interruption during the working days. And others may not have the physical space required to create a suitable dedicated working area. The next question is, as a manager, consider the challenges of managing those who work at home or virtually out of the organization, and what are your challenges? Consider, for example, how to monitor performance, motivate your workers, and help them manage workplace problems. So the key is communication in any workplace, especially one where most interaction occur via email, chats, or calls. As a leader, it's your responsibility to foster a culture of communication throughout the organization. Lead by example by giving regular updates and holding check-ins with your team. If your staff sees that you are an effective communicator, they also will follow suit by picking up your good habits. Technology is what makes virtual team possible. Don't shy away from the tool and software that can make your job easier. And trust is key in any relationship. When employees trust their manager and believe they were working toward a shared vision, collaboration and engagement happen naturally. The next question is, do you think that trend toward telecommuting will increase or decrease in the coming years? And what impact will this have on some of the major topics in the text? Be as specific as you can by looking at the table of contents. So the answer is the COVID pandemic is, among other things, a massive experiment in telecommunicating. Up to half of Indonesia workers are currently working from home, and more than double of the fraction who work from home. It is of course some jobs simply can be done at home. But the outbreak is accelerating the trend toward telecommuting and possibly to the long term. It is until now telecommuting that has been slower to take hold by many predicted when remote work technology first emerged. This inertia probably reflects sticky work culture as well as a lack of interest from employers in investing the technology and management practice necessary to operate a tele workforce. But in the pandemic is forcing this investment in its industry where telework is possible with more people learning how to use remote technology. As a result, we may see a more permanent shift toward telecommuting. And there are pros and cons to more telecommuting. On the plus side, workers tend to prefer working from home, and it reduces emission and office costs, and it helps people, especially women, balance work and family roles. It is also may even make us more productive. The downside is managing a telecommuting staff can be difficult. Professional isolation can have negative effect on well-being and career development, and the effect on productivity over the long run and in a scale of up system are certain. Number 5 question is, read the following of OB case and give complete answer to question that has followed. The first question of number 5 is, how will you relieve Jen anxiety? How is a course in organizational behavior going to make her a better manager? What implication does an evidence-based approach have? The answer is, organizational behavior is the systematic study of people and their work within the organizational. Understanding the definition of OB, it was useful for Jane to be a better manager. As of course, in OB will help Jane in managing human resources and help in creating a motivating environment in the organization. The second question is, why did the professor start off with a brief overview of emerging challenges? In this case, told about person J who joined an organizational behavior or OB course with the intent to find clear-out answer on how to be an effective manager or how to manage people effectively. Number 2 question is, why did the professor start off with a brief overview of emerging challenges? The answer is, this case talks about person J who joined an organizational behavior or OB course with the intent to find clear-out answer on how to be an effective manager to how to manage people effectively. In initial classes, the professor discussed the emerging challenges by being faced in behavioral science. And the last question for number 5 is, how does a course in organizational behavior differ from courses in fields such as accounting, finance, or marketing? The answer is, true, the terms accounts and finance are very much related to each other. They are not the synonyms. The terms refers to the flow of money to a company or an organization on a daily basis, whereas a finance is a broad term used to maintain assets and liability to the company of the organization. It also can be added the accounts is based on the company past and ongoing records, but finance focuses on its future growth. Marketing is exclusively used for the policies followed to promote and sell companies' products and services. It acts as a source to generate revenue required for the accounts and finance sector. The daily cash flow direct depends upon a company marketing strategies. Basically, all three words are closely related to each other and hence used combined. The sixth question is, what are some of major reasons why diversity has become such an important dimension of today's organization? So, diversity in the workplace increases the organizational morale and creates efficiency and effectiveness. Workers from cultural background bring their skill to the table. This helps you critically examine a problem or a task at many diverse levels. It enables you to understand the customer base from diverse backgrounds. The next question is, what is meant by the term organizational culture, and define it and give some example of its characteristic. So the organizational culture definition relates to the structure of an organization such as a company or non-profit and the values, sociology and psychology of that organization. And some examples of organizational culture include philosophy, values, expectation, and experiences. Number 8. What are the big 5 personality traits? Which one seems to have biggest impact on performance? And how will knowledge of the big 5 help you in your job as a manager? So, according to Essential of Behavior Organizational, in 14th edition of the Big 5 personality dimension that has the biggest influence of job performance is conscientious. Those who score higher in this trait are likely to have higher level of job-related knowledge, as those who are highly conscientious learn more. The five-factor model not only helps people better understand how they compare to others and how to put names to their characteristics. It also used to explore relationship between personality and many other life indicators. Number 9. What is negative affectivity and what would be an example of an employee with high NA? What is PA? Provide an example. So we all tend toward one leadership style more than another due to our personal preference, ability, role models, and more. But one approach doesn't fit all scenarios. Some situations and people call for a fast firm, top-down approach, while others flourish with shared responsibility and a freedom to plan, decide, and act. You and your team will likely perform if you develop a wide set of style to apply as appropriate. Number 10 is open the following link and explain what you get from this link and what is your leadership style. Why? So as a result of the background motive that an organization may have, every institution is driven by the urge to invest all the time and effort in undertaking the activities that will see the company of a better place in the economy. A good example is such companies is the Apple company. The following are the reasons for the hard work, as personality refers to emergence of the various quality and characteristic that has people that has been making the person have a different. And the next question is, how would you describe Wayne Huizena in terms of the self-concept, specifically self-esteem? Case of Wayne Huizena, he started his own business with a positive mind and strong belief in his abilities. From the small garbage company to could build his career, it reflects how he trusted in himself and how Huizena took action into reality. It can be seen as he had a good vision into business and could catch the opportunities. It is figured out that the level of self-esteem is connected to happiness level. So as a result, he shaped his action in his way to become a successful businessman. In conclusion, Wei Huizena has great self-esteem and he could succeed by taking advantages from it. Being positive, able to take risks as well as taking action gave him chances to gain achievement. It will be great when someone who knows he or she is improve themselves for the better. So the next question is why is job satisfaction and organizational commitment is so high at marriage resort? And how does Steve Wynn make to keep his employees so happy, and how might lesson and example within this story be transferred to yourself, to employees and organization? So in economic communication, is satisfaction becomes an important key factor of organization to develop and motivating people as well. People tend to speak out what they think about their works to have a common voice and boost to the company to develop job satisfaction could lead the job involvement and reserve. Having a great appreciation and respect their team or boss provide employees with energy and motivation to commit themselves with the company. It is also result a positive performance and could good outcomes since they are effective or encouraged by external positive factors. The next question is question number 12. What have you got from studying organizational behavior for one semester, and how do you find the lecture of organizational behavior via Zoom meeting, and how can the lecture of OB contribute to your success in your life in the future. So the study of organizational behavior gives me insight on how employees behave and perform in the workplace. It also helps to understanding of the aspect that can motivate employees, increase their performance, and help organizations establish a strong and trusting relationship with their employees. And the last question is, what topic have you presented and how important is your topics presented to you? So my group is group number 2, presented by Adelia Putri Adiko, Fandi Deswita, and Sherren, that we present about conflict and negotiation. It is also related of organizational behavior because it is learned about the role of conflict in organizational behavior can be overwhelming if it is not addressed promptly. Problems that are ignored in and negatively resolved often become a part of organizational culture. Well, all my friends, that is all about my answer. I hope you can understand my answer, and please give comment and subscribe. Thank you.